Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to another one of Annie's replay casts. This is match ID number 28608844626, and it looks like it is going to be a heated one already. We have got an 8 streak by Z-Man on the Disruptor. He is really putting it all on the line here, so hopefully things go well for the Radiant. Let's start with our introductions. Our Legion Commander, played by Arenatrox. It's going to be Centaur, played by Decimus. Of course, we talked about Z-Man with his 8 streak predictions going on the Disruptor. We have got Monkey King Arcana, Pro Mike, one of 3 people that has bought the Monkey King Arcana. And finally, Visage, being played by Pixel Tom. Up here, we are going to have a little contest over this bounty rune. Dire chasing away our poor little Centaur War Runner. It is going to be Drow Ranger, played by Jason Koba. Some very angry Russian characters is going to be on the Earthshaker. OD could be played by New Era Nero, Screech Owl on the Spirit Breaker, and finally Bees Nika on the Wind Ranger. Looks like maybe there's going to be an invade up on this top bounty room, but I don't know how that well it's going to go for the Legion Commander. A charge comes in already onto the Disruptor. It's just going to be Legion versus the world here. Goes in, will get astraled up, and will not be able to snap up the bounty rune. All 4 runes are claimed. It is going to be a 2-2 spread, and now it's just up to our Legion Commander to get out alive. They bring in the Visage, who's going to be slowing down New Era. This OD getting a little bit low, but Z-Man got to watch that health. Screech Owl moving forward, has the charge back up, connects onto the Disruptor with the power shot that will secure Firch Blood. Screech Owl going to stay in. Another drop of the arrows from the Legion Commander, getting the overwhelming odd movement speed, and Screech Owl just going to try to focus down the Visage. Vish is doing whatever he can with that 1 point in Grave Chill. And you see, with the Legion Commander still having the overwhelming odds on cooldown, there's not much that can be done. One more hit will secure Pixel Tom's death. Arrows come in, not enough to finish off Screech Owl, so it is going to be a bloody engage. 2 heroes dead already on the side of the Radiant. Alright, up top, we're going to have our solo offlane Centaur. Our mid matchup is going to be a Monkey King versus OD. This should be pretty interesting to watch. Usually Monkey King prefers an offlane, likes himself a safe lane if he can get it, but in the mid, he should have a fun time matching up here. And with New Era already being low from the previous engage, it's going to be pretty easy for Monkey King to secure a kill if he can connect onto the batch. Now down bottom, we have got an offlane Windrunner going up against a Disruptor and a Legion Commander. Going to be a bit of an interesting lane here. Usually Legion's safe lane doesn't get a whole lot of space to herself. And now Z-Man doing whatever he can to keep this Windrunner zone back again. This is going to be 5 stacks on both sides, so all the teammates are at least familiar with each other. So you're not having to go in with that complete pub mentality. Now down bottom, maybe an initiation onto our Windrunner, but Disruptor has no points in Glimpse yet. He's still sitting at level 1. Not even that close to level 2. Mid lane, Pro Mike, in terms of CS, is going to be top of the chart. Looks like he has picked up a poor man's shield to try to deal with some of the harass coming out of OD's right clicks. Able to stand up in the wave, taking a little bit of shots there, but OD is fresh out of regen, probably saving up for a bottle, but going to be a little bit of a while before that comes in. Meanwhile, Visage looks to be going up and will be able to claim that bounty rune, denying a little bit of experience to the Dire already. So Legion just focusing on that CS, going to be 7-2, not bad. Definitely better than I can do sometimes. And things are going pretty well after that first blood attempt. There hasn't been too much chaos, although here in the bottom lane, with that Windrunner is able to escape, but just narrowly has to consume her last little bit of regen and now has to play this super safe. With the 3 heroes down here, it's going to be super tough for her to find any farm. So again, just kind of a passive laning phase. You've got Drow Ranger trying to get as much farm as possible. Earthshaker trying to be the zoner here, but not exactly doing the most fantastic job, letting a lot of CS go the way of our Centaur already. And again, it's difficult as an Earthshaker to zone out someone big and beefy like a Centaur that really doesn't care about fissures. Pro Mike doing what he can, has that Jingu mastery going on. Will be able to slap down the OD. Look at the damage coming out right now. The Astral Imprisonment to save the OD's life, but he has to get back. Cannot afford to be going down here. Just going to be about 18 seconds till that Boundless Strike and hit again. Meanwhile, bottom, there's going to be Spirit Breaker coming in. Already popped that charge, but no one in the bottom lane going to be too phased by that. As soon as Legion's able to find her duel, should be really nice for her to initiate if she can actually lock down that Windrunner. She's so pesky and so slippery, but when it comes to 1v1, Legion should take the edge every time. Monkey King moving forward, has that Boundless Strike ready, but OD going to be juking into the trees. He's got his 3 strikes of mastery on him, so 1 hit from Monkey King would just send him right to the grave. Monkey King is going to be charged right now. There's going to be a disruptor in the area, so could try to do his best zoning back with a glimpse with a thunderstrike, and there we go. Glimpse will connect the stun from the charge hits, but Pro Mike is feeling completely a-okay. Now down in the bottom again. There is some decent farm going the way of the Windrunner. She's got herself 9 and 2 in terms of CS. So she's not totally starved out. She can afford herself some shoes if she'd like to. Another Blades of Attack if she wants to go straight into phase. Up top Centaur, again, completely unbothered by what's going down here. Drow Ranger smacking him actually hurts her a little bit more. He's got that point in return, so Decimus having a fun time just sitting on that stout shield, has some emergency regen if necessary. Down bottom, Windrunner getting super, super low. She's almost out of mana, she's almost out of health, and she can't go Shrine. It's already on cooldown, so looks like she may just have to fully back off to Fountain. Charge coming in, going to be cancelled just for Screech Owl to get back into the lane. Again, mid lane, pretty well for the Monkey King. He's doing his best to keep up in terms of farm. He's got himself 25 and 6, compare that to the OD's 18 and 3. So Monkey King is definitely keeping a lot of control up. New Era's only hope is really that Astral Imprisonment. If things go sour, you can hold the monkey back, but you can't really escape with too much there. Alright, Decimus going to go wrap around. He may be in some trouble, just going to TP out, and it looks like no one on Dire is able to pick up on that. So here we go. Spirit Breaker just sitting there, taking the lane while Windrunner gets some of that juicy health back, and she's going to be TPing back down here in the mid lane. Again, you got that 1 strike of Jingo Mastery. It's going to hurt if you get hit. And now there's going to be the Astral coming in, but Pixel Tom doing what he can to slow down the OD to drop a little bit of damage, and it looks like Pro Mike just content with farming for now. Again, just going to be very passive. Not a whole lot of kill attempts coming out since that very first blood in the jungle. We're going to have a rotation in. Screech Owl looks for the bounty rune, will find it. He might be able to charge himself out of any danger if necessary. Legion has opted to just go and take a couple shots into the jungle. She's picked herself up a bracer for some early survivability. We'll see if she wants to go rush Blink, rush Dessa, or if she really wants to go into drums or something. Back in the mid, again, Monkey King having a good time farming. Is going to be charged here. Now, this could be pretty dangerous. Monkey King's going to be moving forward, shows off his new ult. There is going to be an Astral trying to protect the OD's life, and now Pro Mike could be in some trouble trying to fight off Screech Owl. The Monkeys, they're doing a number to him, but Monkey King does die. Visage able to pick up the revenge kill onto Screech Owl, but that is really unfortunate for Pro Mike. The Astral Imprisonment on the OD definitely preserved his life and made it so Monkey King's ult just felt a little bit less scary. I like the choice by Spirit Breaker not to be too phased by Monkey King's ult. Usually you see, oh god, there's the circle, run out of it at all costs, but Spirit Breaker had his target and knew that if he killed the Monkey King, circle dies with him. Our Shaker has picked himself up a Soul Ring. He's doing his best here just to try to keep the lane back at Creequilibrium point. Drow Ranger has picked up a lot of farm now, sitting on top of the last hit chart, 33 and 7. Looks like she is going to be going in for that Dragon Lance to try to bring herself lots of nice juicy stats so she can be that sentry turret that just sits at the back of the fights, wails out the damage, but isn't in too much danger herself. Pro Mike is going to get charged once again. Screech Owl has to fully focus on this Monkey King. He's now blue. He's now very angry. And he might want to go in and try to harass down the Spirit Breaker. But of course, with his Boundless Strike on cooldown, it's pretty difficult to get those long-range harasses going. So now just bringing in that Jingu Mastery, but New Era not going to be in too much trouble. Now Visage coming in, pops into that Grave Chill. Has the Soul Assumption if necessary, but doesn't want to get too crazy with it. So again, just going to be some static lanes going on in the jungle. You got Drow Ranger now just bopping out of lane for a little bit to get some more creeps. Charge coming in onto the Centaur here. It's going to be pretty difficult to actually lock him down, although he is moving pretty far forward. Centaur played a pretty passive early game, definitely prioritizing staying safe, not getting too crazy, not taking any big chances. But now he might be in some trouble here. You're going to go for a TP and is going to cancel it. Oh, this is not looking good. A couple more shots and he should be out free. But look at that. Screech Owl going to get hit by the tower. No one goes down in this top lane. Both Spirit Breaker and Centaur get so low. And now here we are going to see New Era get blasted down. Visage takes credit for that kill, using that soul assumption to get that last little bit of damage after Pro Mike already popped into his little Wukong's command circle. So nice job keeping mid lane controlled, and looks like our Monkey King should be doing very well in terms of net worth. About to overtake Drow in terms of net worth, but of course Drow getting that free farm up top. She's stacking up really nicely to have a strong mid game in terms of push. So Disruptor now moving in. I mean, he's feeling pretty poor. He's got 1,000 total net worth. He's maybe trying to go for a Basilius with this little ring here, but it is going to be a long way off. He's got himself enough money for the next round of awards. The courier has been upgraded, so he's doing a good job making sure his team has the support items they need. Meanwhile, up in the top, our Drow Ranger, she's got herself a full Aquila and Treads, and has the biggest component of that Dragon Lance. Down bottom, charge onto our Legion Commander. She's going to try to heal herself up. She does have the overwhelming odds if necessary. Can she actually get it off? There's going to be a stun. There's going to be a glimpse back. They're trying to get Screech Owl out of there, but they will still lose the Legion Commander. Astral Imprisonment under the tower means that our little Wind Ranger is going to be taking a lot of tower damage. Can they actually get the hit? One more, and she is absolutely dead. Looks like New Era will have to back. Does not want to deal with the wrath of the Tier 1 tower. That's going to be overall a pretty okay trade for Radiant. They lose their Legion, but they're able to get something for it. Now here, Stampede into the hoof stomp. There's going to be a fissure, but at least they get their target. Decimus is being charged. Spirit Breaker making his way across the map, but I don't know if they actually commit to that charge. New Era rotating out of mid, just getting some free farm for himself down bottom. May have to back off. There wasn't a TP attempt in from Visage, but Visage is going to be chilling out top. Who needs a TP? So again, Legion doing her best in terms of farm. She is going to be picking up a first item Blade Mail. Pretty interesting build. Usually you get mobility, either a Shadow Blade or a Blink. I've seen some Legions rust Deso just to get a more successful duel and slice through that armor, but looks like Blade Mail will do the job just as well. You just got to make sure that your team has the tools for initiation. So you've got to go in with a Centaur stun. You got to make sure someone's caught in the kinetic field or someone's bashed by the Monkey King strike to make sure you can actually start those duels off. Otherwise, you're just going to be hopelessly chasing after teammates that are slightly faster than you. Alright, Monkey King continuing to get that free farm at the top of the chart. Has 57 CS now. It's going to be charged. In fact, all of the Dire heroes, spare one, are going to be going in. The charge canceled by a beautiful Boundless Strike, and Pro Mike is safe under his Tier 1 tower again. Meanwhile, up in the top, they're going in for the Drow Ranger. They don't have the Centaur ults. Going to get silenced up by that Drow Ranger, so not quite able to get the initiation started. But Pixel Tom coming in, trying to slow down Jason Koba for all he's worth. The familiar going at him. Able to spray out a little bit of damage, but not a whole lot. Now the charge coming in. The rest of the Dire heroes coming through. The fissure to stop the Vicious's escape. There is going to be that Stampede coming out of the Centaur. Can they actually keep up here? Centaur goes in, lands a one-man stun. They're going to bring in the Legion Commander. She's got her duel at the ready, but can she actually find a target for it? She's going to get astraled up. Wukong's command comes in, and they are going to be able to find this kill. Eventually, they get the Earthshaker down. There's not much else to be done. Charge forward. Screech Owl wants to reinitiate into this. It's going to get double edge back down. There's a glimpse forward, so Screech Owl goes back underneath his tower. Pro Mike is double damaged up and wants to fight. He doesn't have his ult. Boundless Strike on 5 seconds. Is he going to go for this? Gets gusted up through the trees. Will be shot at by a couple frost arrows. Now the fight's going to fragment off now. 2 heroes after Monkey King, and still a little bit going on in this top lane. So it looks like it will be the end of the engage now. Earthshaker goes down. There's a charge back in onto Pro Mike. So he's going to be in some trouble. Still has the double damage going for himself. Can Boundless Strike, and looks like the charge is going to be cancelled. They don't want to get too greedy onto the Monkey King. Ooh, Shackle comes in. They get a momentary loss onto Monkey King, but their Pro Mike just goes into the Invis rune. Might try to go onto Jason Koba. Does not have that ult again, but sitting very patiently in the mid lane, just soaking up what there is to be had, and again, still top of the net worth chart. Our Drow Ranger, number 2 on the net worth chart, going to be almost at her Dragonlance, just a little bit more gold to get that last little band of elf skin, and she'll be hitting hard, she'll be hitting fast, but again, with 4 points in precision aura, it still feels like her team is a little bit underwhelming, considering how many heroes they're going to get that range bonus on. You're going to have Windrunner, should be CSing a little bit better than she is. OD, having a little bit of trouble finding kills, still 0-1. So we'll see if there's going to be that big 20-minute push coming out of the Dire, which is really what they need. When you have a Drow, when you have 3 heroes that are going to benefit from that precision aura, you have to have that big push coming out 15, 20 minutes. Now Stomp's going to be coming in, attempt for a Stomp rather, but the duel comes in. They've got the silence as well with the Static Storm. That is absolutely a very, very dead OD. The kill credit goes to Z-Man on the Disruptor, but that is going to be the first duel bonus for our Legion Commander. So helping her out, she's going to be starting to hit a little harder as the game goes later. Alright, Monkey King sitting back, has picked himself up an Oblivion Staff, so very likely going to be that Echo Saber that we see. Gonna call a little bit of BS on the fact that his monkeys in Wukong Command do get the bonus from the Echo Saber. So, you know, that seems balanced. Alright, Windrunner moving forward, maybe trying to contest this, but not able to do anything to get in front of that tier 1 tower. Gonna Windrunner way out of the glimpse. But it's looking tricky now here. Wukong Command comes in the middle lane. There is going to be a bash onto Monkey King, but he ain't leaving a circle. TP's come in. It looks like New Era will escape. Again, good use of the Astral to try to prevent as much of the physical damage as possible. Alright, so our Drow Ranger, she's sitting on those int treads. There we go. Back to agility. Radiant shrining up. Just getting themselves ready to re-engage. Again, Shrine's making it so the whole team can kind of group together, don't have to back, don't have to rely on TPs to get yourself close to the fight. You can always stay pretty much up at the river line and stay pretty healthy. Now Screech Owl going to be moving in forward. There's going to be a stampede coming in, and the duel started off. Do they have the damage to get down this chunky Spirit Breaker? Well, it looks like they do with the help of the Visage and the Centaur, so that's going to be another victory coming in, and that is a lot of victories on that Legion Commander's Arcana. I think that was close to 800. Good God. So Dire, they're having a bit of a struggle right now in terms of overall net worth. It is going to be about 2,000 in favor of the Radiant. Net worth is pretty, or rather net XP is going to be pretty even. Take a look at the level chart here. We've got Monkey King up at level 12. Everyone else pretty much sitting down low. Our Spirit Breaker has not even found his ult yet. He's just shy of his level 6. And that's going to be at 16 minutes in. So he's been charging around, really trying to make the plays happen, but at the cost of his life. He has died, well, he's died twice now. And he's just not getting the experience he needs because he's not staying in lane too often. Now, down bottom, Monkey King will go down as the Dire have invaded the Radiant jungle, and now they bring in the Vicious, they bring in the Disruptor, but is that going to be enough? Disruptor, do you have your ult? Going to pop it down, will still end up going down to the Frost Arrows of the double damage Drow Ranger. There's going to be a duel underneath the Static Storm. They will get the victory onto the Legion Commander, but at the cost of her life. Now Bash comes in, and it looks like they will lose the Visage here as well. Mini charge just to secure the kill, and that's a Drow Ranger triple kill at 16 minutes in the game. That double damage rune is doing lovely things to her, and she's going to just go clear up the Radiant jungle. That was a very well played Drow gank. The Dire team moved in. They got exactly what they want. 3 heroes dead, including the pesky Monkey King. And that is a huge surge in net worth for the Drow. Now making a contest for the #1 slot. There we go. She takes over. And she's going to be flying herself in some lovely Mask of Madness. All right. Old school Drow here. Meanwhile, Pro Mike moves in. Will find a kill onto the Spirit Breaker down bottom. Just showing how strong he is. Now he's going to try to chase after the Wind Ranger. They have Z-Man. If they can get Vision, they can get the glimpse back, and they will be able to do so. Can they keep the kinetic field or anything? Looks like Disruptor is not able to do that, as he does not have kinetic field skills up, instead prioritizing Max Glimpse and Max Thunderstrike, which is pretty interesting. Usually you see Max Glimpse focused, but Max Thunderstrike just adding a little bit more DPS to these fights may really pay off in the end. Monkey King chunking forward. Wants to go in onto the Drow Ranger. Just going to hit him with a Boundless Strike. There is going to be that charge moving forward. So Stampede tries to get everyone high. Now Duel comes in onto the OD under tower. This is certainly ambitious. Silence comes in. Oh man, the AoE ults for days. Sanity's clips dropped, but it's not going to save the OD. In fact, he goes down. There's more dual damage coming in, but the Echo Slam moving in. Can they get the kill on the Legion Commander? She will drop. But they get the return kill with the Visage. Now Pro Mike, he's going to be alive, taken out by a power shot. He's pretty low, but still wants to re-engage here. Going to jump up to the trees, keep eyes on the Windrunner. Is going to jump down on her. Do they have any follow-up for this? Looks like the Boundless Strike does connect, but she's Windrunned up. She's going to be elusive. She's going to go ahead and shackle down our Monkey King. It ends up hitting the tree here, but either way, Tier 1 tower secured. 4 heroes down. Very well fought for the Radiant. Overall, in terms of net worth, that's going to bump them right back up to 2,000 after a pretty unfortunate gank in their own jungle. So again, Windrunner, she is going to be picking up the phase boot. She's got them all finished. She's got herself some gloves of haste. Not sure if that's going to be casual or what she's building into now. We'll see. She's got about 2,000 gold in the bank if she wants to pick up a blink soon. Back towards our Mask of Madness Drow. I mean, she's done all right for herself in terms of net worth. She's still going to be second on the chart. She got a triple kill earlier that really boosted her. But that Mask of Madness is pretty questionable. I don't think it's too core in Drow anymore. It used to be super, super core, but these days you really want to get your Tesla Ranger rolling, whether it's going in for the Mjolnir, for the Aghanims, just getting a little bit more damage to your name, especially at this really crucial 20-minute mark where you want to be pushing with your team. You want to be just rolling into structures, and it doesn't feel like Dire have that potential to roll. A good part of that is just because the Radiant have so many fantastic ults that combo with each other. You can duel underneath the Static Storm. You can go ahead, kinetic field someone in, trap them in, then just pop Wukong's command in there, and you can't do anything. There's so much physical damage coming at you. Alright, Centaur Warrunner already with the Hooded Defiance, so we can feel a little bit safer going in with that double edge, not doing as much damage to him. There's a ping onto the mid lane, but all of Dire seem to be there. They're grouping up with themselves, and even though the Legion Commander lands a nice little overwhelming odds, gets movement speed for himself, doesn't want to get too crazy with it. You got Pro Mike with another Invis rune sitting in the mid lane, trying to figure out if anyone's going to overstep their bounds, if he can go in with a quick Boundless Strike, setting up for a nice duel. Oh, glimpse back. Looks like Spirit Breaker gets a regen rune and gets away with it. Alright, mid lane. Centaur's going to try his luck on the tower, really just baiting for his team. He can take a bunch of tower shots and not be too scared. And there we go. Pro Mike going in, starting the Wukong's command, but everyone has left. They all backed off. I guess it's just a nice little zoning ult to keep anyone from re-engaging into the circle. Boundless Strike going to be slapping out onto that Earthshaker. Ult from the Disruptor, making sure no one goes too close for comfort, but there's going to be Disruptor shackled to a tree. Does not get out of that one alive. Meanwhile, Screech Owl going to get focused down, looking for the bash. Will be able to go in. The Echo Slam moving forward. Centaur gets low. Centaur will fall. Blade Mail comes in. They're going to go for the duel, but Earthshaker is a tanky target. In fact, there is going to be a dual victory for a Legion Commander, but she immediately falls. That is not the first time that's happened. Now Pro Mike gets bailed out by the Visage. Is he going to be lucky enough to survive the gank? No. Boundless Strike hits on 3, but there is still enough damage here. Now Windrunner is going to be going in, shackling that creep to the tree. Very elusive now, just cleaning up, and they should be able to find this Tier 1 tower as its only Visage left to defend. Fortify comes in, but it is a little bit hopeless at this point. Windrunner is so low, but they just don't have the damage to take her out. Alright, now Drow Ranger is going to be finishing off a Hurricane Pike before going into any more damage items, and not going to be going into Diffusal or Manta or Aghanims, Maelstrom. Nice scan from the Radiant is going to reveal that there's a couple heroes crawling through their jungle, so they're going to be opting to go up into top lane, trying to push their luck there. Overall net worth, it's actually going to be back in favor of Dire pretty significantly now. 2,000 damage going their way after a really nice fight. Overall XP as well, so let's check how that looks in terms of levels. Drow Ranger already hits her level 16. She's top of the chart. She's getting close to that 20. Looks like she has prioritized movement speed and attack speed. Usually you see Drow Rangers go for the +5 all stats, but we have seen a couple times she's able to really chase people down with those frost arrows and nail them right in the skull. Our Monkey King is opting to go for health, attack speed, just basically wants to run into the fight and screw you over, as typical Monkey Kings should do. Checking our talent trees, our Windrunner is still struggling to find that level 15. She isn't going to have her choice yet of her level 15. And our Spirit Breaker, commends to him. He has really boosted his overall XP in the past couple of minutes. We saw him struggling at level 5 16 minutes in, and by 22 minutes he already has found his level 10. So definitely some good comeback from him. He's going to be 2, 5, and 8. So a lot of deaths, but still allowing for a lot of initiations with his team as well. Alright, our OD already has completed his Hurricane Pike, has his treads as well. Down bottom, there's going to be a charge onto Pro Mike. Can it react quick enough for this? Because again, there is going to be that Shackle ready from the Windrunner. Shackle is going to hold him to the tree. They got the bash going. There is going to be the Kinetic Field. They get the Static Storm on top, but they can't get the Wukong's command off in time. The duel under the Static Storm should be enough. Will they get the kill onto this Windrunner? She's so evasive. She's struggling which way to go. Can they actually get the one hit necessary to take her down? And they will. A nice blink from the Legion Commander comes in, and they will find what they want. They lose the Monkey King, but they get two pretty nice picks in return. Very nice ult there from the Disruptor, allowing for 2 clean kills. Drow going in. They got the Blade Mail on the Centaur, though, so along with the return, that is not going to work out so well for our Drow Ranger. She just goes in. A little bit overconfident there. You really can't solo down a Centaur, especially at this point. He's got that magic resist. He's pretty beefy already. He's got himself a Blade Mail, so you're not going to want to go try to just 1v1 him, especially when you know there's other heroes around. The Visage has performed phenomenally well this game. Pixel Tom 6, 2, and 4. Really good kill participation on his end. You got Earthshaker waiting here. He does have his Blink Dagger, so we can Blink Echo if necessary. It looks like the Radiant, they're going to bide their time. You've got Atronox going to be charged here. Legion Commander maybe a bit out of position. Does have that Blink at the ready, so can just blink back to safety with the rest of her team. It looks like the Radiant are going to be retreating. Meanwhile, this entire time, Pro Mike's just been having some fun in the top lane, getting some solo farm for himself, and does have the Desolator. So just going to be moving forward, making things even easier. Wukong's command is going to be miserable now. Fight going down in the river. You got your familiars just stunning down, trying to get something done. There is going to be a duel coming in on the back line, so they have the damage, though. Drow Ranger firing away at the Legion, but the Legion gets the duel victory. Wukong's command comes in. Should be able to connect onto the OD. They are able to do that. Screech Owl going to be charging into Wukong's command and will go down because of that. Jason Koba, the lone survivor on the Dire, goes in for the Gust. Still has 3 strikes of Jingu Mastery on him. Can our Monkey King find that strike? 14 seconds on cooldown. Going to be jumping up. Going to be trying to jump back down. And they do get the root on the Drow. Pro Mike finishes off the team, taunting out appropriately, leaving bananas in his wake as all of the Dire are dead. Alright, so looks like some easy tower push coming in. The Fortify going to be ending, and now mid lane being pushed. Mid lane going down just to our Centaur, who's sitting there returning damage to the tower. And then, well, there we go. Visage just blasting that thing down. These familiars hitting like machine guns. And there's only 1 tier 2 tower left up top before the shrines can be taken out. In terms of overall net worth, it is going to be back in favor of the Radiant. This is a very back and forth game, but things are looking really well in terms of XP. You see the levels starting to spiral in, and just looking, you got your Monkey King close to level 20 already. Well, at the bottom of the chart, your Spirit Breaker is still not that close to his level 15. So Dire, they really have to group up. They really have to pick their fights wisely, because again, unless you catch Radiant with their pants down, they're going to be able to go drop the Static Storm, drop the Wukong's Mastery. Legion Commander's been great at finding these duels. Already has 72 duel damage. Now she is going to be far away from her level 25, so the plus 40 duel damage bonus is a little bit stupidly OP. She does have to get herself up there now. Nice little blink in, stomp, double edge coming out from Decimus. It barely hurts him now because of the pipe. The magic resist is so strong, and he's so beefy that he can just double edge for days without actually hurting himself. Dire Courier taken down on the way to the secret shop. It's not looking good for the Dire. They're losing a lot of territory pretty quickly. Looking at Ward Vision, we got one up on this high ground here that allowed for an earlier kill from the Monkey King. There's going to be a defensive ward near the entry to the Radiant jungle, just making sure everything's seen. And the Dire Vision, well, they've got a very defensive ward up on this cliff here, and that's really it. They don't see a whole lot of what's going on here. They may see Radiant walking through. They do see this movement. There are going to be pings out. Drow Ranger just scooting herself to freedom. Got herself a Hurricane Pike if necessary, but again, still lacking a little bit on the DPS. When you have a Drow Ranger, especially combo with 2 other range heroes that really benefit from the Precision Aura, there should be kind of this big surge at like 18 to 25 minutes. All the towers should be taken down. There should be a snowball starting up, but Dire really never found that window. They just kind of got picked off. They had a couple nice fights, but that's not looking great here. Now Windrunner just completely caught unaware. Is going to get astraled up, and now that's going to prevent the duel from finishing here. So Legion Commander not going to get the bonus victory from that, but there may still be a kill in the Windrunner. In fact, there will be. Decimus gets low. Will he actually escape from this one? He's trying to run, and he will be able to do so. Now back under the tower. There's a lot of damage coming back in. The Drow Ranger doing her best to hammer out. And there's going to be the Atos here onto the OD. Drow Ranger now focusing down Pixel Tom. Pixel Tom gets a kill on the OD before going down. Look at the Familiars do so much damage. Pixel Tom takes out the Drow and will be able to find Screech Owl as well. The negative earn might be a little bit too much. It's on the Familiar and not on Pixel Tom. So Pixel Tom is able to focus down the entire Dire team. Phenomenally played there by the Visage. Now with this point booster picked up, I mean, could be the Aghanims. Hell, Scotty Visage. Let's fucking see it, man. Pixel Tom, you're the carry now. You do what you want. Whew. This Visage, man. I haven't seen a good Visage in a while. It's freaking rejuvenating. So Legion Commander just goes in, easily able to pick off the tower, clean out the wave. Does have that Sange. Looks like we'll be going into a Halberd. Pretty interesting there. Just getting a little bit of evasion, making sure that heroes like the Drow Ranger, the OD, the Windrunner can't attack. But, you know, not exactly the most typical item you see. Guess you can halberd duel and they just have to sit there and take your damage, but with a blade mail that's pretty much the same thing. Windrunner again really struggling to find some impact this game. She's going to be sitting pretty low on the net worth chart, almost 7,000 net worth, but still level 15. She actually has not opted to grab a talent tree point at level 15, instead prioritizing more of her abilities. So interesting there. She really needs to get her ult leveled up. She's now got max level everything, but well, unfortunately she won't have access to the extra intelligence or health yet. Our Spirit Breaker, again, he's really been trying to have an impact in these fights, charging in, landing some pretty solid bashes, but he just doesn't have the tank ability to stand up to the burst damage of the Radiant. So he's gone down 8 times, and that's really impacting how much he can stay in lane. He's only going to be level 14. Centaur Warrunner now with the Force Staff, so really prioritizing that mobility so we can force everyone in and out of the Monkey King circle. He can force himself forward if he can't catch up with just the Stampede and the Blink. Looks like Radiant, they're looking to make one of their last stands. They're moving in. There's a nice Blink on the OD. He can't go in and impress himself now. There's going to be OD just getting completely clobbered. And again, that is almost 800 dual victories for our Legion Commander with that completed Halberd. She's making sure no one is slapping her back. Overall net worth now really starting to spiral in favor of the Radiant. At about 30 minutes in, they've reached that 10,000 point, even more so in terms of experience, almost 20,000 in favor of our Radiant squad. So look at the levels coming out. You see 3 heroes now have the ability to go for the level 20 skill tree, whereas only the Drow Ranger has that option on the side of the Dire. Drow Ranger has opted to pick up the 6% precision aura damage, so helping out the Windrunner, helping out the OD, but again, there's only so much they can do. They just need more survivability. They need an ability to disengage from the team fights. But that's so difficult when you've got Glimpse, when you've got Bashes, when you've got Centaurs just chasing after you. Alright, Legion moving up, looking to take her shot at this tier 1 tower. This is a great place for the Radiant to throw. Dire, if they get a completed wipe here, could have a fun time. That Echo Slam connecting onto a bunch. But now there is going to be a duel onto the Earthshaker. He's not getting out of that one. Pro Mike, though, does end up going down. There's going to be Centaur charge moving forward. They lose the Disruptor. Can they stay into this? There's going to be a Sanity's Eclipse drop down. No one has any mana. The Gust comes back in. The Radiant, they're crumbling here. Centaur goes down. The Visage now getting focused. Pixel Tom, don't think you can fly yourself out of this one. The charge is going to be moving forward. They bash up this catapult. There is going to be Legion Commander surviving, but that was not ideal for our Radiant squad here. We see that is a almost 4,000 gold change coming in for the Dire right now. Again, Radiant got a little bit too cocky and gave away some really important kills there. We see Drow Ranger's actually now top of the net worth chart. What she does with that net worth, though, that's going to be key. She's going to pick herself up a Manta. Should have it relatively soon, about 5 minutes, maybe even less. But is that really going to help these team fights? With the Mask of Madness, there's not a whole lot of synergy there. Down bottom, you see finally Dire able to leave their base, and immediately Windrunner wastes no time, just drops the ult on that tower. Looks like she still is going in for her Aghanim Scepter, but it's a long way off. She did go for the Maelstrom first, so she's got a little bit more farming ability, but it's difficult. You see now, it's like Dire just gasping in fresh air as they're finally able to leave their side of the map, and they're getting pretty quick objectives. They've got that push power with the Drow Ranger. Again, she did opt to go for the +6 precision aura damage, so Windrunner's feeling pretty good. She's hitting pretty hard.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Our OD, now at level 20, has picked up the +15 int, so really wanting to make sure that he keeps his int up. He has gone for a Lincoln Sphere. I guess that's preventing duels, preventing glimpses, preventing any sort of visage skills, but it's an expensive item for something that OD shouldn't typically need. Usually you want OD to be the one in charge, not the one building super defensive items. Something like a Hex, something like an Atos could be phenomenal. Visage already has the Atos OD. Could take a page out of Visage book. So Centaur moving in. Looks like Hart is next on his list. He wants to be that raid boss Centaur. He wants to be unkillable. He's already got his blade mail and the Pipe of Insight after a very early Hooded Defiance. Bounty runes being snapped up. Dire doing their best to keep their net worths up, but it really is Drow versus the world. You've got OD, who's not too far behind in terms of net worth, but again, his impact in these fights is going to be minimal. All he can really do is hurricane himself out and try not to take damage from a duel. But it's really just coming down to Panic, Astral Imprisonment on a dual target, maybe dropping the Sanities if you get a couple of them in an AoE, but his right clicks aren't too scary now. He's hitting for 255 a pop, but our Legion Commander already hitting for 307, and she's not going to care too much. She's pretty tanky as well with her Blade Mail, and of course if she gets on top of you, she's got that Halberd to make sure you are not swatting anyone. Mid lane. Looks like we're going to be going down. Drow Ranger forces himself away, but nice gust! Might be able to save her life here. Monkey King's going to jump down, drops the Echo Slam, so Earthshaker, he's done what he can, but it's not enough to save our Spirit Breaker, who unfortunately will die again. Pro Mike snaps up a double kill as they're able to kill off a Windrunner who's waiting in the trees. The glimpse back, connects on the Drow, who just sits there and takes it. There's nothing you can do against this wad of damage. 35 minutes in, it seems like Radiant might finally be able to crack this Rax. Even through this backdoor protection, the tower will fall. Earthshaker, he's doing what he can with his Fissure, but Monkey King, he's got his Boundless Strike, which is pretty much same range damage and stun as Fissure, so you know, it is what it is. There we go, full lane of Rax taken down. Buyback from the Drow Ranger coming forward. Z-Man might be in a little bit of trouble, scoots himself away. That's going to be a double Force Staff. Everyone trying to keep him safe. The Force Staffs and Hurricane Pikes in this game are phenomenal, just really doing a lot of work to keep everyone up. New Era hero going to be crawling up onto the high ground. That may be a mistake. In fact, that is a very ambitious play. Fissure comes in, not going to connect onto anyone. In fact, the Familiars just going to be going up, and now looks like the Shrine will be the next to fall. Overall net worth going to be squiggling back and forth. Even after that almost full team wipe, there is still a Radiant lead. And now with the Rax as well, it's only going to be going up and up. That full lane of Rax might just be too much for the Dire to handle. The Radiant really getting some traction. You've got Centaur Warrunner not too far off from his Hearted Tarask, but it's tough. If you're Dire, who do you focus here? Do you try to jump on the Visage, who's a nice, somewhat squishy target? Actually, not super so squishy anymore with the Agnum Scepter. Got stats. I mean, you could try to jump on the Disruptor, but Disruptor's hanging back in the fights, and you've got heroes that are very willing to jump. Look at that jump coming in from the Legion Commander. Another dual victory goes her way. That's now her 800th victory. Shout out to Atronox, who's going to be picking that one up. And now moving forward onto our Windrunner, going to get glimpsed back and just going to be stomped down. The double edge finishes him off. Screech Owl moves forward. He has a Blade Mail rocking for himself, but no one seems to mind. Even Z-Man, right-clicking through the Blade Mail, will be able to find this kill. Pixel Tom picks that one up on the Spirit Breaker, and it's just going to be the OD running away. The Blade Mail popped by the Centaur, returning all that damage to him, and looks like a second lane of Rax will be claimed by our Radiant squad. There we go. Lincoln's popped by our OD. He just has to force himself away. Disruptor having a fun time zoning the mid core. It's not great when at 37 minutes in a Disruptor is something that your Outworld Devourer is running from. So it looks like this may be just about it for our Dire team. Radiant has secured a huge advantage now, 2 lanes of Rax, and there's no reason they can't just TP top and push in a third. There's not a whole lot of momentum being gained from the Dire now. They had that window, 20 to 30 minutes, where the Drow Ranger was pretty strong, that Precision Aura helping out the OD and the Windrunner, but they just never really took advantage of that. They couldn't find good smoke ganks, they couldn't find good pickoffs, as Radiant has done such a good job sticking together and countering any kind of damage that comes at them. So net worth now about 22,000 in favor of the Radiant. Similar story in terms of XP. And taking a look at levels, that's going to mean we have some almost 25s coming back out. Pretty much all the cores have hit their level 20. All the support's still working on it, but Monkey King and Drow are going to be picking up their level 25 talents soon. Let's see what choices we got to work with. Monkey King, oh, he could get a shitload of crits on that Boundless Strike, and that looks to be a pretty strong option. A Drow Ranger, although dead, could pick herself up some more marksmanship ability. Could pick herself up some more Gust knockback. She has been using her Gust really efficiently. Now, Screech Owl, I think you're going to regret that one, son. They're just going to let this Blade Mail go away. It's going to get stomped up, and I don't even know if they can get the duel on this. Legion Commander still looking for an easy duel target. She finds herself a bit of damage. Nice Echo Slam, though. Connects onto a tie. They might find the kill onto the Disruptor here. 2 swats of the Orb, and that will be enough. Now there's going to be an Astral, but as soon as OD drops down from that Astral, there is just absolute death and destruction waiting for him. He tries to force staff himself away to freedom, but it's not going to work out here. Now there's going to be the Drow Ranger getting rooted as well, and she goes down. Triple kill for our Legion. BKB is going to be wearing thin. Has the blink back up in 3 seconds. Shadow Blade as well, ready to go, but well, it looks like she's content just sitting back. She's got herself 144 dual damage. And now with that plus 40, things are going to really start spiraling out of control for our Legion. Looks like the tier 4s are going to be focused. Again, it's only Earthshaker left up to defend. He can do his best. Let's see your fissure, buddy. Oh, nice work, man. You got that. But I don't think it's enough to stop this spiraling Monkey King. There's going to be now 3 Radiant heroes on the top of the net worth chart. And it's going to be pretty difficult for Drow or OD to make a comeback out of this. There's going to be a bash coming on through. Screech Owl, he's got himself a Blade Mail Rocket. Meanwhile, duel on the back lines against an Earthshaker. That's going to be another victory going the way of the Legion Commander. Look at that dual damage coming in. 202. And it looks like there's going to be another full wipe on the Dire side. And this looks to be it at the end of the game. About a 30,000 net worth advantage for the Radiant squad. They did a very nice job. You see Centaur there barely taking any damage from the fountain. GG's come out at 40 minutes in, almost exactly. Looks like Monkey King strikes again, but in all seriousness, very well done from the Radiant. You could tell it was really a 5-stack. They played together. They had very fluid lanes, able to rotate quickly. The Visage plays of the game right there, and of course, although Monkey King is a broken hero, it was well played by Pro Mike. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cast. Feel free to contact me with any feedback you have. You can email me at anniecasts@gmail.com or hit me up on Reddit. Same username, Twitter, Android, just 2 E's, pop that in. If you'd like your own game cast, you can check out moonducktv/replaycast and buy one of the casts from your favorite caster. So again, thank you all and have a great day.